Minute and a half.
35.
Welcome to another episode of the Captain's Quarters Podcast. You may notice that I'm not in any kind of gear. I do have a mug. I do have my pistols. We're good there. But you know what? It's been a long weekend, so we're doing a nice, relaxing show tonight. We have no guests. We're going to sit and enjoy ourselves and talk to anybody that pops in on the show, which I hope there'll be some. As it stands right now, we'll be having a conversation with Zachary Harker. But I do believe, Davey, we need to figure out this timing thing, because if the timing of the show is going off a minute and a half earlier than everybody else is getting it, we need to figure that out. So I'm not sure what we can do about it, but we'll find out. So let's see. I don't need to be in there. I just need to be in there. So we always start our show the same way. How do you find us? This QR code will help you. Go to YouTube, Captain's Quarters Podcast. Scan that QR code. Go to us. You'll find the like button, the follow button, the bell to ring us and like us. I like it when people like us. And then you too can get notifications for every show every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, guess I'll do that. What happens? There we go. Very good. Oh, how about that? I just learned something new. All right. Another thing about this show, I am now, what am I? Some kind of a controller of everything?
Like a co-host thing, yeah. So you can.
Yeah, I actually have some control here. There's Will the historian. Oh, I like this. Look at that. I've just learned how to make things pop up.
Are we sure this is safe?
What, for me to have control?
Yeah,
yes.
No.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to, let's just, you know what? Good. I can actually have fun with the comments too. I like that. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Captain's Quarters Podcast. Very laid back. You'll notice I'm just wearing a crew shirt today. Davey's got him a shirt on, but I see a cat in the way.
Yeah, can't help that.
Can't help that. That's all right. No worries there. And we're just going to have us a good show. One of the first things we always do at every show is 8 bells. Believe it or not, I got a ship's bell over the weekend from the seafood festival. I didn't unwrap it to show off, but we'll have it here available soon. Ooh, hiccups from the apple juice. All right. 8 bells. Davey, how many do we have tonight?
8.
8. All right. Let's kick her off. Vontae Otis Davis, an American professional football player who played as a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, Indianapolis Colts, and Buffalo Bills of the National Football League. He played college football for the Illinois Fighting Illini and was selected by the Dolphins in the first round of the 2009 draft. He made 2 Pro Bowls in his career. He was only 65 years old. Louis Anthony Contour, an American naval officer who was a lieutenant commander and naval aviator in the United States Navy. At the time of his death, he was the last living survivor of the sinking of the USS Arizona during the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. He was 102 years old. Very, very good. Lynn Reed Banks, a British author of books for children and adults. Banks wrote 48 books, including the best-selling children's novel, The Indian in the Cupboard, which has sold over 15 million copies and has been successfully adapted to film. Her first novel, The L-Shaped Room, published in 1960, was an instant and lasting bestseller. It was later made into a movie of the same name and led to 2 sequels, The Backward Shadow and 2 is Lonely. She was 94 years old. Christopher Ferdinand Durang, an American playwright known for works of outrageous and often absurd comedy. His work was especially popular in the 1980s, though his career seemed to get a second wind in the late 90s. Sister Mary Ignatius Explains It All for You won him the Obie Award for Best Playwright 1980. His play Vanya and Sonia and Marcia and Spike won the Tony Award for Best Play in 2013. He was 75 years old. Ralph Puckett Jr., an American United States officer. He led the 8th Army Ranger Company during the Korean War and was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross for his actions on November 25th, 1950, when his company of 51 Rangers was attacked by several hundred Chinese soldiers at the Battle for Hill 205. He later served in the Vietnam War and retired from the Army in 1971 as a colonel. In April 2021, Puckett's Distinguished Service Cross for his actions on November 25th, 1950 was upgraded to the Medal of Honor. Until his death in 2024, he was the last surviving Medal of Honor recipient of the Korean War. He was 97 years old. Gerald Wayne Grote, an American professional baseball player. He played in Major League Baseball from 63 to 81 for the Houston Colts, the New York Mets, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Kansas City Royals. With the Mets, he was a 2-time All-Star player. He finished his career with the Dodgers in 77 and 78, and the Royals and Dodgers in 81. Grote was considered to be one of the best defensive catchers of his era. He was 81 years old. Clarence Henry II, known as Clarence Frogman Henry, was an American rhythm and blues singer and pianist best known for his hits. Pardon me. Blimey. My apologies. Ain't Got No Home in 1956, and I don't know why, but I do in 1961. Henry's pioneering contributions to the genre has been recognized. My goodness, my eyes are all watery. My apologies. By the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. In April 2007, Henry was honored for his contribution to the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. He was 87 years old. Paul Henna, an American professional motorcycle racer. He competed in AMA dirt track and road racing competitions from 71 to 75 and in the Grand Prix Motorcycle Racing World Championships from 76 to 78. Henna is notable for being the first American to win a 500cc World Championship Grand Prix race when he won the 1976 500cc Finnish Grand Prix. Henna was inducted into the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame in 2007, and he was 70 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, there are our ones. Again, my apologies for the sneezing, sometimes uncontrollable at times, but we ring our bell 8 times in honor of these 8 people. Aye, cheers and honors to them. Watching the post here in our thing. Here's one. I don't know who this is, but Profe New. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I do find that's a very interesting observation. Youngest was 35. The oldest was 102. What a contrast! You're absolutely right. Very good. I see Robin Roundtable has made it also. Very good. Nice to have you all aboard. Upon that note, ladies and gentlemen, we always like to make it a little more upbeat, although we try not to make it too sad with all these deaths. It's more of an honor than anything else that we try to bestow on these people for their fans. Upon that note, to bring it up a bit, it's Mini Mayhem with Joke of the Week. Sponsored by Salt City Comics. I had to, I should have this memorized by now. But you know what? I'm going to fall back on it was a long weekend. Anyway, Salt City Comics, sponsoring Joke of the Week with Mini Mayhem. Come on, Minnie, come on.
Ahoy, mates! Mini Mayhem here with Joke of the Week. Sponsored by Salt City Comics. What do you call a pirate who loves to read? Think about it, and I will give you the answer at the end of the show.
Ah, very good. Well, at the end of the show, we'll get the reveal of that. The new person that's on there is a teacher that took the class to the museum, and I did the tour for them back in October. Thank you very much. I'm flattered and honored to have you here as part of our show, part of our online crew. And you notice I'm not in gear tonight because, well, we're going to talk about why it was such a long weekend. And there's greetings from Mr. D. Very good. On that note, Spyglass Travel is one of our big sponsors. If you want a grand and great walking tour of the oldest city in the nation, call Spyglass Travel. My friends Kevin and Angie over there who run everything give you a great tour, a walking tour, good for the exercise, Spyglass Travel. And on that note, they sponsor Quote of the Week. Don't worry when you are not recognized, but strive to be worthy of recognition. I like that one. That's a good one. Abraham Lincoln. That would have been a good quote for next week also. So you're going to have to find another one for Abraham Lincoln because that's what our episode is next week, by the way. We're going to talk about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. More on that later on. Question of the week, sponsored by our good friends, Miss Gina and the Ancient City Sirens. They were joining us through the entire weekend, providing dance and scarf dances for the children and just a whole lot of loveliness throughout the pirate encampment. And our quote of the week, because we are talking about a conversational night tonight, I'm just curious if anybody wants to step up and say, what's been your favorite part of, oh, look at that, the typo. What's been your favorite part of the Captain's Quarters podcast? This is episode 129. That's over 2 years. We started on Talk Like a Pirate Day of 2021, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a favorite part, we'd like to hear about it. If you have something you don't like, we'd like to hear about it. It won't bother me much. Upon that note, it's time for This Week in Nautical History, sponsored by Florida Water Tours. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you want a good we talked about a walking tour. Now how about an on the water tour? A tour of St. Augustine from the Matanzas River, put on by our friends at Florida Water Tours. We want to make sure that they are part and parcel, a good, strong part of our crew, and they are. So we support what they do. So, Florida Water Tours supporting This Week in Nautical History.
Welcome to This Week in Nautical History, sponsored by our friends at Florida Water Tours. Experience the intercoastal waterway at its finest, featuring picture-perfect attractions. Welcome to This Week in Nautical History. 1769, British ship Endeavour, captained by James Cook, arrives in Matavai Bay, Tahiti, with botanist Joseph Banks on board. 1782, Battle at Les Sentes. British fleet under Admiral George Rodney defeats the French fleet under Comte de Grasse off Dominica in the West Indies, prevents a planned French and Spanish invasion of Jamaica. 1838, steamship Great Western makes her maiden voyage from Bristol, England to New York. 1853, steamboat ferry Jenny Lind boiler explosion kills at least 31 passengers in San Francisco Bay, California. 1900. The first modern submarine designed and built by John Philip Holland. USS Holland is acquired by the U.S. Navy. 1912. RMS Titanic, the world's largest ocean liner, hits an iceberg at 11:40 p.m. off Newfoundland, sinks in the early hours of the 15th of April. In 1940, German battle cruisers sink British aircraft carrier Glorious. Also in 1940, German cruiser Blucher torpedoed and capsizes in Oslofjord, 1,000 die. And finally, in 1945, battleship Admiral Scheer sunk by RAF bombing in Kiel. And that was this week in nautical history.
Very good, Davey. Very good. Just looking at a few of the messages we have here coming up. Looks like we've got all of our strong regulars and a new person, and I really appreciate it when we get new people on board. My favorite topics on the podcast are anything about local history and events, and I like the nautical history and anything about pirates. Thank you very much. But we'll have to continue to do that. RRT enjoys the nautical history. Very good, very good. I enjoy being able to interact with the podcast as it happens through live chat. We appreciate the live chat and the interaction. That is one of the things that makes us enjoy what we're doing, because we get a chance to talk to the people that are part of our community. Ransom Mayhem over in Panama City, Nightingale in Florida. Hey, Davey, a couple of these names that are highlighted in colors, does that mean they're
Yes.
cool? All right. So it appears that we might have 3 people. Double check.
Mandy's checking.
We have 3 people highlighted. Zachary Harker, Nightingale in Florida, and Profess New. 1, 2, 3. Where'd it go? Oh, and now it's gone again. He dropped out and back in. All right. So let's talk about crew adventures. We're going to talk about the Seafood Festival in our guest segment, since we don't have a segment, but we are going to talk about 2 events that are happening this weekend by 2 different pirate crews. The first one, on Friday and Saturday night, the Seawolf Privateers Murder Mystery is happening down in Palm Coast on the 12th and the 13th. And as you can see, they got food donated for each of the 2 nights by 2 different restaurants: cash bar, silent auction, treasure chest prizes, and whatever else you can come up with. This will be their 4th murder mystery, ladies and gentlemen. Davey and I helped them with their first one. Was it the first one? And then I helped them with the second one, or the third one? I don't remember. We've been involved in several of them, but all the money they raise for these events goes to their help of the foster children in Flagler County and beyond. They are a good, strong crew, and they're doing good for their community. And we like sponsoring and or helping them out with advertisements. The second one, ladies and gentlemen, is our good friends with the Queen Anne's Revenge, their mini golf tournament. Our Pirate Mini Masters down in Ormond Beach, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday and running till 5. And you can play for charity. This is going to Surfers for Autism. That's their main charity, the crew of the Queen Anne's Revenge. That is their main charity. And they also, too, are a very strong pirate crew for their community, doing the events that they can do. And I will be going to that one also. Then I have to leave that event and get back to the Colonial Quarter by 7:30, because there is an event that I am helping, or that I have sponsored in the past and that I want to be big support of, with the Sheriff of St. Johns County. You know, sometimes the weekends are just going to be thick. So if you can come out Friday and Saturday night for the Seawolf Privateers in the evening, Saturday afternoon, for the Queen Anne's Revenge mini golf event. Both wonderful events, both good causes, and exactly the perfect reason. Davey, did you get that?
I did.
I should take him down there with me and see what we can come up with. But ladies and gentlemen, both very strong crews in the area. They're not St. Augustine crews, but they do also support and help St. Augustine swashbucklers. Very good crews. We like having them around also, and I am going down to support them. I believe a few of our crew is going in to support both of those events. I just don't know who's doing what, but we will find out. But we wish those two crews, the Queen Anne's Revenge, all the best of luck in raising the money you need, along with the Seawolf Privateers on their murder mystery. All the best of luck with them. Now, there might be some confusion about two different events going on in the same weekend. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit in the Captain's Corner's mail call. On that note, I also would like to mention that I am trying to work on dates for Captain Mayhem's acting seminars. And I've decided that I'm going to try to do one in May, June, July, and August. 4 through the summer, small ones, limiting them to 24 people, give or take, each time. And I have tentative dates, May 18th, June 15th, July 20th, and August 17th, right in the middle of the month for each of them. They haven't been set yet, but we're working on it. I hope to have something solid by next Monday night. We'll see. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a guest tonight. Before we don't have a guest, Davey, let's throw this in real quick. Pop-up guest of the week. The guests that are coming up. You have it handy enough to pop it up quick? So, ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll be doing a little bit on the Lincoln assassination, Will the historian, and a friend of mine from the local news station here it may also be joining us. He'll be live in the studio. He's very interested and very astute on the Lincoln assassination, so I'm trying to bring him on board. Kind of a surprise last-minute guest, and we hope that you'll tune in. We're going to talk about the history of the Lincoln assassination. April 22nd, Gary Sass will be back. Bold City Brewery, and there's a silent movie museum up in Jacksonville that I was completely unaware of, and now we know. And well, we'll see what happens. Well, I just got a message. Very good. The murder mysteries. I just got a message from Miss Katie. The murder mystery is sold out for both nights. There is a waiting list. That is wonderful news, but it still doesn't mean that I shouldn't talk about your event right here for everybody to hear about. It is a good event. So congratulations on selling out the tickets. Now you can sit back and relax. Is there a class on mayhem napping? Yes, there is. We will talk about that. I really enjoy the history, says Will the historian. Well, go figure, right? So let's talk about the Seafood Festival in our guest segment. The Lions Seafood Festival. This was the 41st year. They gave us a larger plot of land, and next year have promised us an even bigger plot of land because they like everything we're doing. It's kind of hard to tell everything we did, but we had a great time. We had a 20 by 20 tent set up, a 16 by 16 tent set up. We had Gina's pirate ship set up, and we had the mermaid photo booth set up. We had it all set up and had a great time. We had games. Let's see, the games we had were Jenga, giant Jenga, an axe throw for the kids with safety axes, of course, and Plinko. And I believe we gave out almost every one of the prizes that we had purchased. So that means that we had 1,000 children that played our games through the weekend. 1,000 prizes were given away. 1,000 children played our games. We also had some great entertainment. Do you have the poster of the entertainment handy there, Mr. Davey, as I'm talking about it? We had great entertainment for both days. And some of that entertainment was, well, Captain Mayhem's magic show. Also, Andrew Ratliff, Andrew the Absurd. There you go. Andrew did a couple of shows. We had crew reading books. And actually, I did a couple of the book readings, and it was a lot of fun. The kids came under the tent, and we read some books and had a good time. We had most of Saturday was magic shows, escapes, fun, jocularity, and, well, reading. And we did a scarf dance. Miss Gina did a scarf dance at the end of the day, around 4:30. And yes, Hopefully there's no videos of me, but I had scarves in my hand trying to do some dancing too. Hey, not very pretty, I can tell you that. Then at 5:30, we did something new and something special. And it was a sea shanty sing-along for almost 3 hours. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to personally thank Mark Miller, Cole Miller, Woody Miller, Diego, Olivia, and there was one other musician, and for the life of me can't remember his name. Mike, I believe it was. Mike, but I will not be able to remember his last name. I did not write it down. They provided, did I get everybody, Davey?
Uh-huh.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we had 6 musicians, and we sat and sang songs and told jokes and had a great time. They started at about 5:15, 15 minutes early, and about 8 o'clock, they said, we need to get something to eat. So I said, well, you should take a break. We all went and got different foods at the different seafood booths, came back, shared the food around, so we got a taste of everything. And then they played from about 8:30 till 10 till 9. They played another 20 minutes, but the event was done. So it was a lot of fun, and the Lions Club loved that. So we'll be putting a lot more emphasis on that and trying to get more music to be played next year, mixed in with the magic of Mayhem and the magic of Andrew. I already know I want to bring him in, and I've got another magician I want to talk to about bringing him in because he does a third completely different kind of magic for us. So we'll see what we can do. Plus our games, plus our mermaids. It will be a grand time again next year. So we'll see how that goes. So, Davey, you have a video.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and show that.
Cool.
Good job, Davey. Oh, boy, you're still doing it.
I had to sort through lots of pictures, Captain, to get through everybody.
I'm sure you did. There were a lot of people
And I
taken.
tried to make sure that everybody got into that was there. We got everybody at least once.
And it gets really difficult because we have, so many people that are helping us. I neglected when I was saying what all the things we had. I neglected to say we have the Traveling Pirate Museum also, and the Rikers, who are the sponsors of the 8 Bells every night. The Rikers help run the Traveling Pirate Museum, or Nautical Museum. I should be more accurate by calling it the Nautical Museum. And they do a good job. Besides some of the things that we already have, that I have in possession of, they have some other things too. And I have some other things I want to add to it. So we're going to be expanding that. And I think we're going to end up having to make it a 2-table museum now. I think we're going to have to really add to it. But we'll see what happens. I just got a confirmation by my friend Jeff Valen. He works with the First Coast News, and he wants to be on the show on Monday night, along with my son. And I did see a message there from my son. This regular season's done. I do want to commend my son. If I'm right, he is the coach of the soccer team for the school he's at, and they had a no-lose season. They won every game. If I'm correct, make sure you let me know I'm correct. But I believe that they had a winning season, a complete win for the whole season. Am I right, Mr. Historian? Let me know. Let's see. I see Captain Grimm's is on. Very good. That is correct. So the school that my son teaches at had an undefeated, that was the word I was looking for, an undefeated season. Very good. I did see something else in here. Let's finish talking about the Seafood Festival. Then we'll go ahead and talk about all these remarks that are popping up. So the Seafood Festival, this was the 41st year for the Lions Club to do the Seafood Festival. It was the 12th year that Captain Mayhem and Pirates were involved. And every year we just keep adding to it. And we already got quite a few comments from the people that run the Lions Club that they expect us back next year. We just have to work on some details on how to make it actually happen so it doesn't seem to be as much work. As you can tell, taking a picture of Captain Mayhem slumped over in a chair at every event has become a habit of my crew to see who can take the picture. And this year, even Andrew the Absurd got involved. Do you have that picture he took there available, David?
I'll have it before we're done.
Yes. Even Andrew the Absurd got involved and took a picture of Captain Mayhem, and he took a selfie, by the way. So, hey, these events really, we spent many hours on Thursday night, again, many hours on Friday night setting it all up. We spend many hours on Saturday. In fact, Friday, it was 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. So that's a regular work day, guys. Saturday, it was 8:30 in the morning till, for me, 11 o'clock, 11:30, because after we were done, I went, and Mark Miller is a member of the Order of Leviathan, which is one of the things that I'm a member of. You can see that right there in the cup. It's right there. And so him and I finally got a chance to sit and have a couple of port wines and a cigar and just relax and talk about entertainment and our views on entertainers and the life around us and how things are. And it was a great evening. His sons, Woody and Cole, were there with us. And it's always a joy to sit and talk with the Millers. I've been friends with Mark Miller now since about the summer of 2007, I believe. Maybe 2008. One of those 2 summers. And I met Mark Miller and the Rusty Cutlass on a boat in Fernandina for a wedding and had a great time, and we've been friends ever since. They've come and done some of our events. This was not the Rusty Cutlass crew this time. This was Mark and Cole and Woody. Cole is also a tour guide at the Colonial Quarter and an excellent tour guide. And sometimes you can catch him with his rat Cobbler. And the reason they call him Cobbler, because he's a pie rat. You'll get it if you hadn't already. So Cole is a great tour guide with the Colonial Quarter and sometimes doubles over in the Pirate Museum when we need it. There it is right there. That smile is kind of scary. That's almost a cartoon smile. Like he knows something that nobody else does. But
Oh, I have a story with that, Captain. So
go ahead.
It happened to be that I was up on the ship, of course, running the sound. You came up there, and it was only a matter of minutes, and you fell asleep. Well, Andrew finished doing his magic act. You were due to go on, but you'd fallen asleep. He comes up and he goes, Mayhem's, he needs to go on. What should we? I said, well, why don't you wake him up? So that's when he went over there. But he first had that little impish grin and took the selfie first on you before he woke you up. So he got, that's how that happened.
Ransom Mayhem says the smile looks like he got new dentures and wanted to show them off. Will the historian, you tell us you're undefeated. Let's brag about the name of your school too, if that's permissible. If it's not, then just tell me. So the Seafood Festival is a great success. I do not know the monetary success of it for the cruise charity event. That will not be determined until tomorrow night when we make sure everything else is accounted for. But I feel it was a good success reputation-wise. I feel it was a great success with the crew because a lot of crew on Friday night during setup and or Saturday during the first day, a lot of crew got sick, or a lot of crew were sick through the weekend and could not make it. So a lot of the crew that were there were doing double duty. Even Andrew, we want to thank Andrew. Even Andrew stepped in and helped do some of the games for us. It was much appreciated to have him help us out a bit. So everybody worked together like a crew and did what they needed to do. And then when it came time to tearing everything down, believe it or not, we got everything torn down and out off the field within 1 hour. And it's all packed nice and neat in the trailer. So we have a good crew. We just could use more numbers. So the few of us that were there don't have to work as hard. So we'll see how we can improve that. That's the only thing we need to work on. Everything else worked fine. And we'll let you know the monetary charity side of everything in next week's show. Anything I missed about the Seafood Festival? I can't think of anything. I do want to do this, though. I'm going to put Mandy on the spot because Mandy went to a pirate festival out in Las Vegas last weekend, right? 2 weekends ago.
Yes, it was not this past weekend, but the weekend prior to that, we went and hit the Las Vegas Pirate Festival, which
is held at Sunset Park. I know where Sunset Park is. So what's your overall thoughts on the festival?
Like I said, I was telling you guys earlier, we showed up the Sunday and they'd already been stormed out. So we were missing a lot of the displays and stuff that had gotten taken down, or damaged from it. But the entryway, you start with the Seaport, what did I even just call them? I told you who they were earlier. The Sea Dogs of Freeport. And they have this like huge interactive area that was a ton of fun. There's a lot of pirate crews down there. I just wish more of them were like more interactive and stuff like that. They did have some of the Pirates of the Caribbean celebrities as well. They were really hard to get over to, though.
Did you meet any of the celebrity pirates?
No, we were coming around with Anara, and I was doing my normal filming thing with Anara, and I didn't even realize like where we were coming up at yet because I film her everywhere. And a lady got like super mad and was like freaking out because we were filming too close to the celebrities that apparently we were right to the side of. So, but one of them was missing and the other ones didn't look too happy. So we just kind of like moved on to go try to see what we could see of the rest of the event.
Well, that happens once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, at least you had a good time, and we're going to be seeing you in a couple of weeks. 4 or 5.
Yes, 41 days.
41
I think
days.
is what it said on the countdown.
We are going on a cruise. There are about 14 of us from the crew. We're going on a cruise, and we'll be gone Saturday, which is Saturday the 20th, not the 25th. Where's my cursor? There we go.
We come back the 25th. We leave the 19th, it looks like.
Actually, we come back sooner than that, from what I understand. We leave on the 18th. We go down. It's a Saturday, unless I've got the dates wrong. We go on Saturday on the 18th, and we come back on the night of the 23rd. So it's the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Now I'm questioning if we're on the same cruise, because that's not what mine has.
What did yours say? The 19th to the 24th?
I'm logging in. I have the 19th to the 25th.
Well, we better make sure that's all set. But I thought we were leaving on that Saturday morning, but because that's what everybody's been telling me. But
I haven't bought my flights, but Anara's recital is the 18th, and everything I knew we could hit the recital. We were flying in Saturday night, and we would hit there Sunday morning.
Well, I guess we need to double check all that.
I'm doing it right now. Let's see. We leave port May 19th on Sunday.
Okay.
And we return May 25th. Yeah.
So we'll be back Friday night and or Saturday morning.
We come back Saturday morning.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, we're going on a cruise. Never been on a cruise. Haven't been on a vacation in 18 years. So I'm going on to have a good time. We'll see what happens. A couple of other things I see have popped up. Let's see. I'm going up here along the comments. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, our show is pretty laid back. Yep, Will the Historian, I did see that. Our show's laid back tonight because we did work our butts off over the weekend. Let's see. Nightingale says, let me put that up there. There we go. Nightingale says that it would be interesting to compare the reactions and conspiracies of the Spanish flu to the COVID-19 epidemic. It could be a fascinating book. Could be interesting. Could also cause a lot of people to be mad at us. But we'll see what happens. The Black Plague, 1666. That would be, if I got my date right, the Black Plague. That would be an interesting one to do and talk about. And what else do we have in here? Jim says we should get Copperfield to come and make the Castillo disappear. Or if he was really, really good and ambitious, he could make traffic disappear. That would be nice to get the traffic taken care of here. That has become a huge issue and a huge problem here in St. Augustine, ladies and gentlemen. Terrible, terrible issue. One of these days, I hope they figure it all out. Let's see. Let's see. Anything else? I don't see anything else happening. So for now, we're going to do what's called the Captain's Mail Call or Captain's Corner and talk about a couple of things. And I try to be really honest. One of the things we always want to make sure that we tell people is we try extremely hard to not make this show political in any direction, shape, or form. And that's very important to us here as the crew, Davey and Mandy and myself. And I want to say this also, because this is going to be a really strange and ugly year. Politics are playing a huge part in people's lives. And I have people and friends, they don't see things the same way I see things. But I don't hate them, and they don't get upset with me, and we don't try to kill each other. We don't call each other ugly names. I've seen some really ugliness going on Facebook amongst people who I thought were friends, and their friendships are now in jeopardy because some people can't separate certain things. It's a real shame. It really, truly is. Politics are important, but it's not the politics that are important. It's the direction the country goes in by those politicians. And if they're not doing a good job, in your opinion, you have the power. The power is the vote. But arguing amongst your friends, growing hateful, throwing hateful slurs at people doesn't solve anything. For everything somebody can tell me from one side to the other, oh, they're a cult, I can show the other side they're a cult too. Both sides are fighting against each other. And to me, that's the one thing that I truly believe some of the powers that be really want. Because when they have everybody agitated, nobody thinks straight. And on that note, also when it comes to voting, please vote with your brain, not with your heart. And I'll leave it at that. A second thing I want to talk about. This happened to me over the weekend. I'm no name involved, but apparently somebody came up to me to talk to me and say hello, and I was somewhat apparently standoffish or cut them back. I apologized to them when they sent me a text message on my phone. They said, this is what I did. They were very unimpressed. I sent them an apology because that's the right thing to do. And then they sent me a message back saying that the children, his kids, loved the magic show and it was a great job. Here's what I'm going to say about this. Davey knows, the crew knows. I can be standing in the middle of the field and have 14 people screaming out my name all at the same time. Somebody wants or needs something. I can't do all of it at the same time. And I'm trying to make sure that I am attending to the issues and the things that are happening as far as me being responsible, being in charge of an entire group of pirates, providing entertainment for an entire day, for 10, 11 hours a day, for 2 days in a weekend. If I miss something or somebody feels that I was rude to you, I'm sorry. I really am. My apologies. My first responsibility is to the client. The client is the Lion Club and the Seafood Festival. My second responsibility is to keep my pirates moving towards the goal that we have agreed to with the Lions Club. My third responsibility is to the people that come to see us. My fourth responsibility is to me taking a nap once in a while, if I can get the time. So if it happens, it happens, and I am truly sorry. And after event, you can come and talk to me or send me a polite message and say, hey, and I'll be happy to apologize. There's nothing wrong with apologizing, but sometimes events just happen. And I honestly do not recall when this person stepped up to me to say hello. I truly don't, because everything it goes the way it is. So again, my apologies to this person, to any other person that thinks that I have snubbed or snobbed them. It is not ever done intentional, but when I'm at an event, my first priority is at an event. I also will tell you this, I try very hard not to pull my cell phone out. Pirates with cell phones in their hands completely ruins the image of pirates. So I try not to pull my cell phone out. Sometimes it can't be helped, because even my own crew will try to talk to me on the cell phone. So I try very hard to make sure that the event and the clients are taken care of and we represent them properly. And one more time, my apologies. One other thing I want to talk about, and it happened again this past week. And I'm not sure how to open this, so I'm just going to say it this way. First, since I've grown older, I've decided that I don't have to put up with BS anymore at all. And I really try to keep some of my friends who are captains of other crews working together. You can't swing a dead pirate around the entire state of Florida without hitting some event, multiple events on the same weekends. It just can't be done. And there is, and this is supposedly supposed to be in this area, it's a gentleman's agreement. Yes, there are some female captains too. It is not a law. Everybody thinks it's a law that you cannot put one event on top of another event in the same weekend. Sometimes it's going to happen. If it's not done intentionally, then everybody should support both events. Here's the thing that happened that has me saying this now. Somebody on Facebook who has a social media group was asked to promote an event. And they said, I can't promote your event because your event's on top of somebody else's event. Why? Why can you not help promote? Just because they're both there. Promote them. There are several ways to promote and make sure that events go well. One is promotion. That's what Facebook's all about. If you are partial to another cruise event, you can still promote the other cruise event. And if you don't, then you are part of the drama of dividing the cruise. You are part of the drama of creating crews from working together so that they can't work together because, oh, they've got an event, we can't promote them. Promote them. How hard is it? What does it cost you to do that on social media? Nothing. Promote them. We can promote events by participation. We can promote events by support and promotion. And we can support events by, if you can't do the first two, make a donation. A small donation, any donation that shows that you support the event. But if you tell one event, I'm not promoting you because the other event's here, now you are the cause of the problem of divisiveness in the pirate community here. Sometimes it can't be helped. I had an event for 10 years, still have the same event every Halloween weekend. Another pirate crew came along and put their event on top of mine. Two different kinds of events, though. Mine's a family and children's event on 3 nights. The other event is an all-adult night on one night, an event on one night. There's nothing that keeps people from going to that event that doesn't keep them from going to mine, and vice versa. Competition breeds better events. I'm going to 2 events this weekend. I'm actually going to 3 events this weekend because if I can support, I will. I'm going to 1 event on Friday night. I'm going to 1 event on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to a 3rd event on Saturday night because I believe that we should support each other. And we might not be able to support each other in presence, but we sure as hell can support people in actions. Support by promotion. So the person that did this last week, I've decided I don't need that person in my pages and has been removed from all the pages of our crew. And it wasn't our crew that he was going against. It was 2 other crews that I happen to have a good faith in and good relationships with. So instead of having to watch this BS doofus attitude, it's a gentleman's agreement. It's not a law. If you can do your event without impinging on another event, great. I do the Pirate Festival every February or January, last weekend of January and first weekend of February. I have to deal with Hogstown. I have to deal with Gasparilla. There is a Renaissance Festival further south that includes pirates. Can't do anything about it. Tybee Island, weekend in October. Panama City, same weekend. I support Panama City's event because I attend, because they pay me to be an entertainer there, and they pay my crew. I still support the Tybee Island event by promoting it. Some of the captains in the pirate community need to get over themselves and stop this because they're the ones creating the divisiveness. Support everybody. It won't hurt you. On that note, there will be some that disagree with me. But as I said at the very beginning, at my age, which will be in less than 30 days, 66 years old, I've decided that I can tell you to get off my lawn. And I have an opinion and I'm going to use it. I'm not going to be quiet about it anymore. And I will start using names if I have to. It has become ridiculous. I can support as many pirate crews as I want, but the choice is mine. On that note, we'll leave it alone. That'll probably cause some people to be upset with us and not watch us anymore. But I don't mind. Again, anything that causes divisiveness is wrong. We can all work together in some way, shape, or form. And I've had some great conversations with people that disagree with me. In fact, I love those kind of conversations. So let's see where we go. On that note, we've already done guest on board or on the deck. So it is time for Joke of the Week, the reveal, sponsored again by Salt City Comics.
No, we forgot this week in history.
Oh, we did, because I jumped ahead. My apologies there, Mr. Navigator. Go ahead with This Week in History.
Sponsored by.
Let's see. Dick's Wings, a great place to go for a great lunch of Dick's Wings or a great foot-long hot dog. I haven't been there for lunch. I guess I'm going to have to do that sometime soon. Dick's Wings, ladies and gentlemen, up here on US 1.
Welcome to This Week in History, sponsored by our good friends at Dick's Wings Bar and Grill. Wings, salads, wraps, quesadillas, and more. No matter what your taste buds crave, they've got you covered. Welcome to This Week in History. We begin This Week in History in the year 1820. The famous ancient Greek statue Venus de Milo is discovered on the Aegean island of Milos. 1841, first detective story published, Edgar Allan Poe's Murderers Row Morgue. 1861, Fort Sumter in South Carolina is attacked by the Confederacy, beginning the American Civil War. 1865, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln is shot in the head by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater in Washington. He dies a day later. Also in 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee and 26,765 troops surrender at Appomattox Courthouse to U.S. Lieutenant General USS Grant, ending the Civil War in North Virginia. 1879, milk sold in glass bottles for the first time. 1943, U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt, in an attempt to check inflation, freezes wages and prices, prohibits workers from changing jobs unless the war effort would be aided thereby, and bars rate increases to common carriers and public utilities. 1953, House of Wax, first color 3D movie premieres in New York. 1963, Winston Churchill becomes first honorary U.S. citizen. 1968, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the 1968 Civil Rights Act. 1983, in front of a live audience of 20 tourists, David Copperfield makes the Statue of Liberty disappear. 1986, Clint Eastwood, elected mayor of Carmel, California, makes his day. 1993, Bill Nye the Science Guy, starring Bill Nye, debuts on KCTS TV in the U.S. And finally, in 2019, first ever photo of a black hole announced, taken by the Event Horizon Telescope collaboration in 2017 in galaxy M87, 6.5 billion times the mass of Earth, 55 million light years away. And that was This Week in History.
Very good, Davey. Very good. And that reminds me, with your last part of that, did anyone actually, and it was asked in the line here, did anybody actually see anything having to do with the eclipse today? I didn't notice anything. I think it was kind of cloudy in this part of the world, so we would not have noticed too much other than maybe a small darkening of the sky. Ahoy, Captain. Sorry I'm late. Andrew there wanted to say thank you for the great time at the Seafood Festival. Yeah, we talked about you, Andrew. Pop that picture up again, Davey. Pop that picture up real quick. And for this offense there, Mr. Andrew, we will be making you walk the plank. So Will the Historian did correct. He was talking about the Black Death from the 1300s, not the Black Plague. Very good. I also saw Ransom Mayhem had an extra comment there, and he's absolutely right, and I wanted to add to it. It will always happen. The more pirate events we get, the more popular and the more we grow. And also the more pirate crews that keep popping up. More and more crews. That's one of the other things, is that there are more crews. When we first started doing pirating here in St. Augustine, there were 2 crews. the Blackhearts, and Ancient City Privateers, and the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, but it was a dinner group and then became a pirate crew in more of a pirate crew in 2008, 2009. So then there were 3. Now there are 5 or 6, I think. It just, the more crews we have, the more popular pirates, if they do good events, the more it's going to happen. It's just, there's nothing you can do to stop it. You can be aware and try to make sure that, okay, maybe that weekend's not going to work so well. I'll pick another weekend. But if you make that effort, that's good. But if you can't make the effort because it requires booking of places and locations, it requires the contracts of food and or other things that go with your event. And sometimes those things don't become very negotiable. So we have to work around it and we have to understand. There are some good events, all of them. Try to support them in some way, shape, or form in 3 ways. Attendance, promote them on your Facebook page. Doesn't hurt you any. Or make a donation to them. Those are the 3 ways to support. Telling somebody we can't support your event on our Facebook page because you're on top of somebody else's event is, to me, I'll use the word asinine, and we'll leave it at that. Now, let's see. How about support other events because of the people that put them on? How about support the event not just because of the people that put them on, but because of the cause? In reality, think of it this way. You're not going to support an event. The only ones you're really hurting are the charities they're trying to do work for. That's the way I look at it. So there you have it. Let's see. Promoting each other and other. This is also Ransom Mayhem. Promoting each other and other events shows a camaraderie among us all. I agree with that. I do. Your Facebook pages, our Facebook pages overlap each other so much anyway. If you don't support an event, it kind of makes you look silly. All right, let's see. Will the historian let them leave? I'll raise the numbers by having the students listen for extra credit. Hey, great idea, Will. Good idea. And let's see. Crews Nightingale in Florida says, crews supporting each other's events helps all the events to be more successful. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, there's 2 great events this weekend. Seawolf Privateers Friday and Saturday night, and the Queen Anne's Revenge Saturday afternoon. I plan on attending both because I believe in the causes of those crews, and I happen to believe in the captains of those crews. So we'll go from there. Both good crews doing for their community. Enough said again. What else is there? Ransom Mayhem. Will the historian. Oh, sorry about that. It was a tip of the hat to how hard you work. It was part of my geek magic. You missed this part, Andrew. I made comment that it seems to be that everybody wants to try to get a picture of Captain Mayhem taking a nap at every event. I think we're going to have a whole collection and put all those pictures of Captain Mayhem napping and put it with some background music. And the song I'm thinking of in the top of my head right now is Dreamweaver. All right, let's see. Greetings. So the game logs came from the glass milk bottle lids that was talked about in tonight's show. Oh, very good. Pogs. Yes, the Pogs. Pogs were a big thing. I'm enjoying this, being able to pull these comments up myself and not wait for Davey to have to do it. I watched here at my house. It got a little over half of the sun. Michigan Harker, I noticed, was working outside on a camp kitchen cabinet. Multiple events. Yes, multiple events are possible. One afternoon, one for evening. It works out that way. There we go. I think we've hit everything. Davey, you want to do Joke of the Week now?
Oh, sure.
Let's do Joke of the Week.
Okay, it's time for the answer to the joke of the week. What do you call a pirate who loves to read? The answer is a buccaneer.
All right, I like
Mandy's laughing.
that. Yeah, that's a good one.
So somebody said that in the chat earlier that that's what they thought the answer was, but I don't remember who it was.
That's what they thought. Well, they got it right. So what is this one that Jim said? The whole Facebook thing is silly. It's free. Not like you have to pay for a Super Bowl commercial for my event. That's kind of what I meant. It is. It's free. It's not costing you anything. And actually, if you promote 2 events in the same weekend and 2 different pirate crews, it kind of shows that you're helping with the camaraderie. Very good. Let's see. And Chad Cook is watching. He's the captain of the Queen Anne's Revenge and their golfing event this weekend. Chad, just so you know, I might come down with a golf partner. I am considering that my golf partner might be Mini Mayhem at the mini golf tournament. But it would be embarrassing if he beat me, so I don't know. I might leave him locked up. We'll see how it goes. Anything else, Davey, you want to share or show?
I think that's it.
Okay. Mandy, have we missed anything? Are you good to go?
I'm good. I can't think of anything we've missed.
All right. We've done well. So let's do this. We always like to thank everybody, so we do have some ways to thank people. First is our thank you video. Go ahead, Davey.
The Captain's Quarters podcast is indeed a ship sailing the seas of the world, always in search of history, knowledge, and adventure. It takes a crew to run a ship, so we take this opportunity to thank those who help keep this ship afloat.
The casting crew: Captain William Mayhem, Navigator Davey Longwood, Gunner Hellfire Henley, Cartographer Mandy Joe, the Powder Monkey, and Juan Cam.
Helping others gives a crew purpose. Our treasured charities that we support: Inc., investing in kids; the Humane Society of St. Johns County; Alia's Acres, a no-kill animal rescue zone; and the Cadets of the St. Johns County Fire Department. The 4 major charities that we support, but there's always room for more.
You too can be part of the crew and support the show in many ways. Go to Patreon. A small monthly contribution as Powder Monkey or First Mate memberships, or a single contribution. PayPal or Venmo. Go to YouTube. Hit the like and follow buttons to join our ranks and support the show. It does take a crew. Thank you.
Very good. There is our platforms on YouTube every Monday night at 8 o'clock. Once the show is over, which will be in just a few minutes, shortly thereafter, it will download to Spotify, Instagram, Stitcher, iHeart, Castbox, Apple Podcast, and Music Amazon. What is she laughing at now?
Me?
Yeah.
Bo might be in drag again. I don't know.
Bo's not in drag, but I actually manually moved that video to upload to everything tomorrow morning because it won't process for me to download until tomorrow.
What won't?
The video to make it go on Spotify and everything.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
Just
Don't
so
worry.
you know, it's like it doesn't do it tonight. It'll do it tomorrow because I do it. But yeah,
It'll do it sometime after the show ends. How's that? Well, yeah, very good. Let's
Numbers.
see. Numbers. Do we have one of those?
Of course. Man,
Very
you got it,
good.
Timmy.
Very good. Our numbers are looking strong. I like it. 1,529. I'd like to see 1,600 by the 1st of the summer, June 1st. But we'll see what happens. A couple more comments have come in. Let me see if any of them pertain to what we're doing here. Captain, your halo is the shape of a ship's steering wheel. I know, isn't that here? I noticed that earlier. I should make sure I sit just like that. What do you think, Mandy? Does that work? We should have some music in the background every time that it shows on me going, ah. But something sounds better than that because I'm a terrible singer. I think we got it all. Davey, what's our email? If you have a question, a concern, a comment, want to give us some ideas, if you're the captain of a crew and wants to have us help you with some support on our show, as we've done tonight for both the Queen Anne's Revenge and the Seawolf Privateers, send us a message. We'll chat about it. We'll parlay, as it were, and help you out if we can. But I can't do it unless I know about it. And things have gotten so many things are happening everywhere that it's virtually impossible to keep up with everything. So I have to tell people, let me know. Let us know what's going on. We're happy to do it. Our season for the St. Augustine Swashbucklers has pretty much come to an end with the Seafood Festival. I now have most of April, May, June, and July to relax and catch up on personal things. And then starting in July and August, we'll start working on Spooktacular, I believe. We will see what happens. And then we've got Ancient City Con. We've got Spooktacular. We have a few other things mixed in there. We can't do it without all of you. We appreciate all the support, the people that watch us. We hope that you'll tell more of your friends. Yep, very good. You're absolutely right, Mayhem. I'll put that up there so everybody sees it. And this one, what was this one? Captain, your halo is in the shape. Yes, I saw that. Okay. Need a contest. Need a contest or prize for 1565 followers. Ooh, that's a good idea. What are we at? 1529? Is that what we're at? 1529?
Yeah, we're 1529 right now.
So 1565. We need that's a great idea. Our 1565th follower should get something. And to make sure it works, if somebody pushes that person, we should give them something too. I like that idea. Let's work on that this week, Mandy and Davey.
Okay.
See if we can come up with something and advertise it by the next show. I don't know what we can come up. A membership first, that would be one thing. Can we do that? Are we allowed to do that? Can't do that.
Not that I know how. I'll put it that way.
All right. Well, we'll figure something out. You know what? We'll come up with some prizes. We'll make it worth your while. A picture of Mandy.
It's on the internet if you know where to look.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Well, let's see. Anything else? Chad Cook from the Queen Anne's Revenge. Thank you, Captain. We appreciate the support. It was a grand show. We thank you very much for your support also. We can't do it without you. And Mandy told Jim that's a good idea. Yes, that's a great idea. Look at that. Jim, you had an idea, and I guess then we're going to have to give you something for the idea. Show coin would work. We'll come up with something. My brain's already thinking. Sounds good to me. All right. On that note, Davey, we did an over an hour show. Look at that.
Yep.
How about that? And take her away.
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
Always. We can't do it without you. Thanks for tuning in this week. We hope you enjoyed the relaxed show. And if you didn't give us some suggestions, which we got many, but you want to give us some suggestions, go ahead and send us an email. or get on our Facebook page also. We'd love to hear from you. We thank you all. I'll see some of you pirates on Friday night. I'll see some of you on Saturday afternoon. And then if any of the pirates would like to join me at the Colonial Quarter to help the Sheriff's Department with their event at late that evening Saturday, show up and have a rum with me. On that note, we'll see you all later.